guys, for today's video I'm going to be doing my book discussion on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So I just want to say right now that Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely my favorite Harry Potter book, like hands down. I know I watched the movies first, and even during the movies The Prisoner of Azkaban was my favorite movie, but the book is so much better than the movie, so I'm just going to dive right into it. So Harry is in his third year of Hogwarts, and this, I believe, is really when things start to go, well, not south, I wouldn't say, but this is really where the plot of the entire series is revealed, and I really like that. Harry gets into an argument with his aunt and his uncle, the Dursleys, and he runs away from home. He runs away and he's just gets on the night bus, and he's getting really freaked out because he keeps seeing like this like really big dog around that he's like, I don't know who that is, like what that is, like what's going on. And then it's revealed that the famous prisoner, Sirius Black, has just escaped Azkaban. And Azkaban is like this huge wizarding prison. It's like the Arkham Asylum of it's the Arkham Asylum of the Harry Potter world. And Sirius Black is in there, and Harry finds out that Sirius Black had a actual key role in the death of Harry's parents. So that's kind of how the novel starts. He gets to Hogwarts. There's tensions happening between Ron and Hermione, and Harry and Hermione. I don't know, Ron and Harry kind of like are off on their own. Hermione is busy with school. She's doing so much schoolwork. I can't actually remember the exact reason why they are so distant during it. I know it has to do with school. It might actually have to do also with Hermione. I can't remember if this is this book where Hermione is trying to free the house elves. So that kind of goes into play a little bit. During this, Hagrid has become the new teacher of different magical creatures, and he introduces a hippogriff, Buckbeak, and then Draco Malfoy comes in, and he's a tool, and he doesn't follow instructions, and he is injured by Buckbeak. Buckbeak was just defending himself, and it goes into this whole subplot of Hagrid trying to basically bargain the Wizarding Council to let Buckbeak live. So there's that. There's the introduction of Professor Trelawney, who is like a divination teacher, so she can like see other things, and they all basically think she's a phony, but she's so pure, and she's good. This book also introduces it introduces a couple of my favorite characters. We have Sirius Black, obviously, and then Remus Lupin. I absolutely adore Professor Lupin. He is definitely one of my favorite characters in the series. I think he is one of the only adults that really listens and really has a say in the overall plot, and he doesn't treat the kids like kids. He treats them like they know what they're doing, and like they're old enough and mature enough to handle serious situations. This is also the book where we are introduced to Dementors, which are like these kind of like wraiths, I guess, and they are guarding Azkaban, but they are also coming to Hogwarts to protect Hogwarts and also look for Sirius Black. This is also one of my favorite ones because this is the introduction of the Marauders map. Fred and George Weasley are getting close to Harry, and because Harry cannot go on the scheduled trips to Hogsmeade because he doesn't have signed permission he didn't get from the Dursleys, and if he doesn't have that, then he can't really go. So he can't go, so Fred and George give him the Marauders map, which basically is this huge map of the entire grounds of Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, and it has different secret routes, but it also shows the little footprints of where everyone is at their moments, and the twins have used it to cause mayhem, but they pretty much have it burned into their memory, so they're like, you know what, you need it more than we do, and I love the twins. So as the story progresses, Hagrid loses the case of Buckbeak. Ron, Hermione, and Harry grow closer together with the help of Hagrid, because he kind of lets Ron and Harry see that, you know, Hermione's been working so hard for Buckbeak, and she's been working so hard as it is, and she's really, really sad that she's not as close to Ron and Harry as she was. So Hagrid's like, you know what, I thought you guys cared more about your friend. And it's kind of like, Hagrid, I love you. But my favorite part is the big reveal at the end, which is that Sirius Black is Harry's godfather, that he was really, really good friends with James and Lily, and Harry is under the impression that he sold James and Lily out to Voldemort and he's the reason that they died. But then you find out in the Shrieking Shack, there's all this like backstory that it was James Potter, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew, and that Sirius Black was in Azkaban for killing Peter Pettigrew and selling out James and Lily to Lord Voldemort. But that is not as it seems. In reality, Sirius did not sell out James and Lily. It was actually Peter Pettigrew. And then once Sirius confronted Peter after James and Lily were dead, Peter faked his own death. And it is also revealed that those four were the Marauders that created the Marauders map. What is it? It is Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. And they're all actually enigmas, so they can transform into animals. Well, except for Lupin. Lupin is a werewolf, and he was turned, and then all the boys turned into enigmas so that they could help Remus and like basically run around in the woods at night being animals, and they're unregistered. You have to be registered apparently in the wizard world, like Professor McGonagall, who can turn into a cat. Yeah, so, which I love that history. I absolutely adore that history. And so Harry's dad was a stag, Remus obviously is a werewolf, Sirius is like a big dog wolf thing, and Peter was a rat. And turns out Peter is actually Scabbers. Ooh, plot twist, what? And there's this big confrontation at the end between Sirius, Remus, and Peter, and Harry, Hermione, and Ron are there, and it's actually just stunning, and I think it's my favorite part of writing in the entire Harry Potter series, because you get so much backstory, and you get this whole other era of the wizarding world, and I absolutely loved it. And I think this was like the most plot-heavy book in the series, and I really like plot-heavy stuff. And I also really like characters, but I like character depth, and this gave so much character backstory. So it was great. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it, and I just don't even know what to say, actually. It was absolutely great. What I really, really want, like, I know that J.K. Rowling is doing like the whole Fantastic Beasts things with Newt, and then she's doing like the 19 years later with like Harry's kid. Like, that's all fun and everything, and I will read it. But what I want more than anything is I need at least 3 books following the Marauders. When the Marauders were in school, there's so many questions that I have. I just need to read it, and I want to read about young Sirius and young Remus, and I want, oh my god, I just need it. That's what I need. J.K. Rowling, please get on that. Yes, okay, what else was I gonna say? Because I just really ranted a little bit there. Professor Snape is kind of still not my favorite. Honestly, oh, and I forgot at the end, they use the time turner and they go back in time. Duh. Well, Harry and Hermione do. Ron can't go because he broke his leg, so he can't do that. But at the end, stuff goes wrong and Sirius is caught and Sirius is killed by the Dementors and Harry is almost killed by the Dementors, so then Dumbledore basically says, I'm not telling you that you should go back in time, but go back in time and fix this. So Harry and Hermione go back in time, they save Buckbeak from being executed, they save Sirius, and they kind of expose Peter, but they can't really do anything in terms of freeing Sirius, so they just basically, they let him go on Buckbeak, and they both just ride off into the sunset so that they're both alive. And that's how the book ends. And also, can I just mention that I think that Harry is like the least observant protagonist ever? Like, I'm sorry, Harry, how did you not notice that one of your best friends was using time travel for an entire year in order to get to all of her classes? Like, Harry, your friend has time travel and you don't even notice because you're whatever, Harry, whatever. Okay, so I have like a few little points. This is more on the backstory of how James, Remus, Sirius, and Peter were all friends. It's precisely, said Professor McGonagall, Black and Potter, ringleaders of their little gang. Both very bright, of course, exceptionally bright, in fact, but I don't think we've ever had such a pair of troublemakers. I don't know, chuckled Hagrid. Fred and George Weasley could give them a run for their money, and I'm like, yes they could. And I also just really liked how it was Fred and George that handed off the map to Harry, because it was like the Marauders were the OG pranksters, and then Fred and George got the map and used it for what I would like to think that James and Sirius and Remus would have liked it to be used for a little bit of mischief, because, you know, I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. So I really liked that, and that also that Fred and George really, unbeknownst to them, were handing off the legacy of the Marauders to Harry. So I really liked that. So that's really all I have to say about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I absolutely love it. 5 out of 5. So good. Okay, so next week I will be doing a book discussion on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So that's gonna be very fun. Alright, so that's all I have to say. Please comment what you thought on this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday, and I am Ardania, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!